You mean for the Skibidi toilet movie that Michael Bay's making?
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host.
I'm JD.
James.
And this
I
is
call
the
him James.
Shoot.
Everyone
Welcome
else calls him
to Crapshoot,
Jimmy.
everybody. I'm your host, JD.
It just
This is my
works like
co-host.
that. A lot of things have happened this week, James.
It just works like that. Yeah.
In fact, there are so many things that my little notepad thing is getting a bit full.
Oh, have you?
That is the very
notes?
first thing on my list, actually.
The Skibidi toilet movie.
Yeah, the Skibidi toilet movie by Michael Bay. I don't know if it's real.
It is, and it's been fucking haunting me.
Confirmed?
It's been haunting me all goddamn week because my brother on Monday, I was giving him a ride, and he just turns to me, he's like, "Skibidi toilet movie." And I'm like, "What?"
Skibidi toilet movie.
Because he just says brain rot shit. He talks to me in brain rot now. He genuinely, unironically
Well, it's
says,
because
"What
brain
the Sigma?"
rot is the funniest thing that has ever existed in the history of humans.
No, it's not, because it's like I try to have like a conversation with him, but he just starts going,
Exactly.
What the Sigma?
Instead of
And
having
he,
a
doesn't talk.
stupid, terrible conversation with you, James, the most boring person in existence, you could just mew, do the shush, and then trace your jawline, or you could say, "What the Sigma?"
No,
It's funny. It's the funniest thing ever.
it's not funny. It's annoying. I hate it. I hate it.
You're the boomer who thinks it's
Get out of my
annoying.
head.
You're not hip anymore, James.
He's older than me. But yeah, no, Skibidi Toilet is getting a movie by Michael Bay.
What is it even going to be about?
That's what I've been asking. That's literally the thing I've been asking.
So it's just confirmed to be true, and then that's it. There's no leaks have happened.
Yeah, the people at
How
Paramount.
come nobody has leaked this movie?
So the people at Paramount, it's because it's not fully in talks. Here's the thing that people are getting wrong with it. It's not fully in talks. They've discussed doing it. Michael Bay's shown interest in doing it. And Paramount really wants to pursue this because they think this is going to be their fucking FNAF
Because it's going to make a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, they think
I mean,
this
honestly,
is like
I think it would.
What would it be? It's
I
going to
don't
be
know.
like the Angry Birds movie where it's just going
I've
to be
never
nothing.
actually even watched Skibidi. I know it's like a series on YouTube, but I've never actually watched a video from it.
I
So, I
watched
don't know.
when at the time, to the latest video at the time I watched it, which was like over a year, not even over a year ago, like under a year. But like a while ago, I watched it. That's why I'm still here going, what will they do?
That's why you're here still going, "What the Sigma?"
That's why I'm here still going, why are we here? Just to suffer?
I hope my favorite director is in charge of making that movie, Michael Bay.
I wonder what controversial thing he'll do.
I think Michael Bay
around.
is literally the best director to make Skibidi toilet movie.
Here's my thing. I know he is, and I know what got him on board for it if he is doing it fully.
What does he
It's
have
the
kids?
fucking robots and the explosions within a city.
There's robots and explosions in a city in Skibidi toilet.
And it's Skibidi toilet. There's two factions. No, there's three factions, JD. There's the Skibidi toilets, which vary
good
on what
guys,
they
or-
can do.
Okay.
There's like giant Titan or Goliath fucking Skibidis that are like big toilets with like fucking machine guns and
Giant
missiles.
Skibidis.
There's the TV / camera / radio head people who are like these non-human robot people things that are just big machines. Like there's like skyscraper sized ones with like a million TVs on them.
I get why you hate it so much, because it's basically Transformers but better.
No, it's not. It's worse. It's so much worse. It's something my fucking chat keeps bringing up. They're like, Skibidi. Look at the Skibidi designs.
It's evolved. It's come full circle. It's in the beginning you hate your chatters because they're boring and idiots and all of them are stupid. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what you say.
I think
That's
they
what
watch
you
long
say
enough
about them. You, the enemy of the
me.
community.
I mean, they don't know that there's a second James cord that may or may not have existed, where you may or may not complain to me about
JD?
all of your chatters.
I'm sorry,
say,
JD. Where's the evidence?
Being
Do you
horrendously
see it on the
racist.
side of your screen right now? Do you
I mean,
see
I
it on the
may
side
or
of
may
your
not have
screen?
a couple screenshots of it, but just saving it
Post
for a
them.
rainy day. That's all.
Come on, JD. I'm Homelander here. Post them. Blow this popsicle stand.
I know your love for your need for love is so high that You literally controlled by it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to break this.
That's why I've stayed friends with you.
Yeah. Through all the brain rot. So anyway, yeah, I hope it gets made. I'd go watch it. Honestly, that's probably the only movie in a while that I'm like, I actually want to go watch that movie.
I don't know what it could or would be, because like with Five Nights, it's not, because here's the thing: Backrooms, there's a story you can tell. I get why that one's getting made. Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's, there's a story you can tell. Okay, I get why that one's being made.
Story.
Angry Birds, as stupid as it was, there was a story you could have told. They told a different one.
Surprisingly,
wasn't good.
A better story than FNAF, yeah. Any of my comments getting to you yet, James?
No.
Are they getting you a little bit irked?
Give me a little.
Are they giving you a little bit
of just start beatboxing. No, it's just there's no story to Skibidi, and that's why I'm like, I don't know what the fuck.
You just make up a story. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I guess you could just fucking like be like, I don't know, people vent Skibidi toilets.
I don't know, maybe people.
Maybe people. They can floss again.
It's my favorite storyline. Maybe people.
It's my favorite story. I don't know. Maybe people.
I don't know. Maybe people. The whole storyline of what was it? The Mandela catalog.
Wrong.
Mandela catalog. Maybe people.
Something wrong. Weed too low.
Well, anyway, James, that was a pretty funny thing I mentioned. Now we can get a little bit serious. By serious, I mean welcome to the game show where we talk about the this week's content creator of the week. Yay! 2 weeks ago it was Dr. Disrespect. Last week it was Cody Co. Guess who it is this week?
Is it Ava Chris Tyson?
It's Ava Chris Tyson from the Mr. Beast crew.
Yep.
I didn't know who this person. I think I remember actually this person before. It was like mentioned somewhere. But I don't watch Mr. Beast. I'm not in tune with them. But I do know what Ava Chris Tyson has done.
What have they done?
Every single week, James, there's a new one that comes out.
He can't escape them.
I believe
keep doing this.
I believe the Tyson has messaged minors on
so I have a
inappropriate conversation with minors. It happened.
I have a bit of information on this.
Yeah.
So from what I'm aware of, the minor that they supposedly had like sent the inappropriate messages to came out and said that never happened. They had talked, but no inappropriate messages were sent. But the Shadman stuff is still of consequence and should not be ignored just because they said they weren't messaged appropriately.
I think I've seen screenshots of those messages. Some of those inappropriate messages, but I don't know if they're real or not.
The person said they came out and said that it never happened, and a lot of the screenshots seem to be faked as well. But I am going to say there is some shit they've said and done that should still be of consequence that we should still hold them to. Mm-hmm. You know.
Well, I've also heard that minor didn't think. I mean, at first I didn't hear that they said they denied getting sent the screenshots. I heard that they said that it was just like jokes, or like they don't think they were a victim.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it wasn't inappropriate like messages.
But honestly, I
sense of like what Dr. Disrespect was trying to do with meeting up with a minor at TwitchCon.
Yeah,
it wasn't that. It wasn't Cody Co being told, "Hey, she's 17," and then him going, "Whoa, no way," and then sleeping with her anyways.
Yeah, I still think it's inappropriate. It's definitely not. I don't think it's on the same level because I didn't actually do it, but I think it's inappropriate still.
Right, like to be clear, I still think shouldn't be messaging minors.
No, I know you think it's okay because
I know you think it's okay. Wait, no, I gotta say this because I had to have this conversation with one of the people who've been asking me to make a Discord. I had to like tell them and be like, "Hey, it's 18 plus. Nobody under gets in." And they were like, "But can I still mod for you?" And I'm like, "No." I gotta
James,
say this again.
You're not gonna have your fans in your Discord. You're not gonna have your 13-year-old fans in your Discord. Why, James?
Because I'm not a fucking weirdo. I don't need that.
Oh, you're not a weirdo. I'm sorry, but I look at your stream every day, every time you stream, and it's
I got that
you drawing
caveman
weirdo
glare.
things, you playing weirdo games,
Such as
Halo Infinite, probably the weirdest game in 2024.
Yeah, man, that's the weirdest game. Definitely not whatever you're playing.
No, but you draw like Transformers and FNAF. That's like the most, kid friendly thing.
I'm sorry, that's what I grew up with and wanted, like,
Exactly.
controlling my whole life.
And now all these like newer gen kids who are also interested in it, and you're just saying
in middle school,
and you're just saying to them, no, you cannot interact with this. This is all 18 plus, and then nothing you do is 18
There's a
plus.
difference between talking to people on a public stream and on a Discord server, though. That's
in a public Discord server. Or?
I mean, it's not a public Discord server. I have to verify people that come in. That's why there's the verified.
Well, you didn't
category.
Because guess who's in there?
Kiri's above 18 though, JD.
Me. I'm in there.
No, you. JD, I went to school with you. I thought you were talking about Kiri.
Are you sure you really know who I am?
So let's say, like, here's why I know, like, some people can't get in that are already in my fan base, because they fucking talk about being at school all the time, and I'm like, I don't know how to handle this. Please go talk to, like, a counselor or something.
Well, anyway, back to the whole Ava Chris Tyson thing.
Yeah.
I think Ava Chris Tyson said on X that she was fired, but I'm pretty. And then Mr. Beast said no. She said she left, but then Mr. Beast said she was fired. So, she's not with Mr. Beast anymore. And yeah, all I know really is about the minor thing, the talking with minors. I think I saw some screenshots. Where it was like, I'm not aware of the Shadman thing. I think it was mentioned, but I don't know who that is. So
I'll explain to you after.
I kind of, hey, let me, yeah. So
I'll let you,
I just know that I saw some screenshots where they were just talking about like, they were just making like sexual jokes, sexually charged jokes. That's what the screenshots were.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't think it was like, well, I mean, it was inappropriate because it was, like it was between an adult and like, I don't know how old he was at the time, like 15, the kid. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, the Shad guy stuff.
Yeah, so Shad guy.
Yeah.
He's a pedophile.
Okay.
I do not care what excuse anybody tries to make. This guy draws child porn for a job.
For a job. Gets paid for it.
For a job. People pay for it, like Ava Chris Tyson did with that painting in the back of their house that they hung up in their living room as well of a child.
Oh, they owned they owned
artwork that they had bought from Shadman. And this has been a thing of, this was from years ago. They've had this hung up behind them in their videos, and then apparently in their current home they're in, they had it hung up in their living room.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is fucking wild.
I think that's a pretty wild thing to hang up in your living room too. If I walked into your house one day, James, and I saw some art that kind of is like, well, if I saw more than two pieces of art that represented, then I would be a little creeped out too.
No, because
I already
saw
a couple.
Like,
I know
it's literally it's sexual art drawn of a child. It's like, that's your centerpiece. Like, you just have that.
That's your mantle
in the living room. I have a Godzilla.
I would walk into that house and I'd be like,
poster.
"What the Sigma?"
I have a poster for Godzilla -1 that I do that with.
What the Sigma? Snap camera snap sound effect.
That's just, it's insane to me. Of like nobody noticed sooner. What do you mean?
Nobody noticed. Did nobody notice, or was it actually pointed out? I feel like people would have noticed.
People are now pointing it out because they now go back in the timeline and point it out. But the thing is, people have said, yeah, when I visited their house, I saw that was in the living room. That's why I'm like, what the fuck took so long?
I don't know. Actually, I feel like that would be, that would be like a crapshoot topic first thing I put on my list. If I saw that, if I went to one of my friend's house and I saw that,
like, yeah, you go visit William and you're like, oh, this is new.
If I visited him and I saw that, the first thing I say was like, so where'd you get this at?
Shadiversary.
Has this always been here?
Oh. So yeah, Shadman. To go in more detail about Shadman. Shadman is a dude from like Newgrounds, you know, like back with Oni Plays and all that shit. I'll
I
get into
never was in that space. That was a time
I
of before I had the internet.
so
I'm not
real
an old
quick,
guy.
by the way, because you just said that, I want to point something out. A lot of people have been defending a list of creators that are connected with Shadman because their defense is, well, we were all on Newgrounds at the time. Everybody had contact.
It was
I
just Newgrounds at the time, you know.
Yeah, and I gotta say this. Sure, you were in the same space back then. Still having contact with him now, despite nobody being on Newgrounds anymore, says something about you. And I cannot make that any fucking more
It
clear.
says you value friendships very, very highly.
It
You know,
says
you don't just
value a
go
certain
around
friendship.
breaking all kinds of friendships just willy nilly. Is Ava Chris Tyson good friends with Shadman, or is it just
They're a very big fan. It turns
oh,
out
okay?
they
A big
they'll see
fan.
Shadman. Yes, that's why they have that
that's a little
painting.
strange.
Yeah, they oh god. So yeah, she had that artwork commission. She's constantly like
She
tweeting
commissioned
him.
it. Didn't be long. I thought she just owned like a PC already crafted, but I guess
No,
so
it's a
she
commission
commissioned
she
it.
got done by him.
Okay.
And also she tweets him on Twitter all the time, being like,
What's
"Can you
Twitter?
do
I don't know what that is.
when on X. X. It's really
Oh,
important here.
I see.
So people know. Yeah, she'll like see him talking about some new drawing he's working on X and be like, please, please, please do it. Which is so fucking weird.
Here, do it here.
Yeah. Like that's oh god. It's yeah. So again, Shadman, I'd say, got the most infamous, minus the general fact that he was like one of the main artists that draw child porn. He got very infamous for the fact he did it of Keemstar's actual 7-year-old daughter.
He what? He drew a piece about
Keemstar's
I didn't know
actual
Keemstar had a
7-year-old
daughter. What the?
I did. I didn't know this happened for like the longest time until like a couple of years ago. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's pretty messed up. Yeah.
Shadman's, and it's not like, it goes even further. He drew, I remember correctly, the daughter getting raped and everything, and it's like very fucked up.
That's
He has,
yeah.
and he's done this with several real life figures and real life children. God, I fucking hate this person. And it really kind of breaks my heart because it like reminded me of something I brought up a long time ago when we were doing Crap Shoot, like back in 2020. I'd say I brought this up and I forgot about bringing it up ever again. I'd say 4 years ago I brought it up. Yeah, like around like I think within our first 100 episodes.
That's quite
like
a lot of
from
episodes.
1 to 100, I'd say I know I've brought this up because I remembered it with all this stuff coming up. Like, oh fuck, I completely forgot.
I definitely
Oni
don't remember.
Plays.
Yeah.
And all those people are good friends with Shadman still.
Oh, still?
Still, because there is a not too recent, that's not correct. Not too long ago video they did where Chris was talking about how Shadman was visiting and kept referring to Shadman as a good friend. And in a podcast episode with Shadman that they did, I forget what the podcast they did was. It was something from like a long time ago. Zach, aka one of the co-creators of Smiling Friends, defended Shadman's art, saying, "Well, it's not real. You know, it's not real. It's just art. So it's like, you know, you can." Oh, God, it's just very gross defense of it, and that's why I'm like the whole like everybody's like, "Oh, well, everybody had a connection." You're just finding a way to defend the creator.
Somehow Shadman's like he's like the what was that guy? Epstein of artists, and I've never heard of him. Wow. Yeah, I guess if you're 50 plus years old, you're pretty, you know, Shadman pretty well. But yeah, that sounds pretty crazy to me.
Yeah.
Were you on Newgrounds, James? Is that where your artist started
I wasn't. Well, I wasn't like a creator on it. I never actually watched most of the most popular creators. I watched like a lot of weird, like shitty animations. That's what I always like going to Newgrounds to watch when I was like really young. Is I'd watch like the really like bad a couple frames, like kind of animations.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't know of a lot of the people that came from Newgrounds until like I went to YouTube and always heard them fucking talk about the fact I was on Newgrounds back in the day, and I was like, what? I
I
don't.
would be
Who
like,
the
what?
fuck
Oh,
are you?
cool, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
What I know Shadman from is because I've talked about this pretty openly. I used to be a conservative. I had an app called iFunny, and they would post, because for some reason iFunny would just allow it. They would post Shadman art, and that's how I found out about Shadman. And it's what kind of really opened my eyes to the fact that iFunny was so badly unmoderated, because they would,
Yeah.
again, it would just be openly, they would post Shadman porn of very terrible shit, and I would just be kind of like, well, it's a one-off thing. I'm not gonna believe that's how everybody feels. And then you'd see all the comment replies to a Shadman post, and they would just be fucking feral. And yeah, I'd say that's definitely part of why
Yeah,
I drifted
I
away
know a
from
lot of people
conservatism.
who had. I know a lot of people who had that app, but I never actually used that app.
I unfortunately used it for too long. I only got rid of it a few years ago because like I remember I just was no longer active on it. I started using Instagram more and I just forgot to delete it. I went back on it for like a week to try and like get into using it again, because I was like, I forgot why I stopped using it. I'm like, oh, this memes on the
Oh
daily. They
yeah,
always have
funny
something new said.
memes. I could look at this and probably give it some crapshoot stuff.
Then pull a Dr. Disrespect as the Elden Ring music kicks in as I
No,
click on the app and look at it.
Then you pull the XQC meme where he's laughing and then it goes black and white and he's not laughing anymore.
That's literally how it is, because it's like, oh yeah, I remember why I don't use this anymore. These fucking degenerates.
Except your version of the
God.
XQC meme is that you're not black and white and also not laughing before, but then it just turns black and white because you're just never happy.
And my face is even more distorted and angry.
Anyway, so
yeah.
Ava Chris Tyson no longer affiliated with the Beast crew.
Yep.
That's not what they call themselves, but
The Beasters, the Beastars.
Beastars, yeah.
Can we just start calling them Beastars?
Beastars. They don't. Yeah. So
Like
I guess
the
they
anime?
lost
No,
they lost an important crew member that day.
I mean, yeah, this is Jimmy's Mr. Beast's like best friend, I think, for the
Yeah,
longest
I think I remember Mr. Beast talking about how Ava Chris Tyson was like his best friend.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Beast, what's his Jimmy? Was
Yeah.
Jimmy is actually the name?
Yeah, his name's Jimmy.
I
I know,
remember
it's
it being-
like, really, Jimmy.
I remember it being really similar to something. I remember it somehow is Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
weird like
sometimes even your best friends you just don't know, or at least I don't think he knew, but
Right.
he might have.
Again,
I mean,
according
what are
to
the
other
chances
people,
that Mr.
this
Beast
was
has
the
never
centerpiece.
walked into that house and saw that centerpiece?
so people are gonna try to defend it because
What-
I've already
Is the
seen
centerpiece
people defend it.
bad? Does it like have to be censored when you post
Yes.
it online? Okay.
Yeah, like I said, some people tried to defend the artwork that was in the house, because they are clothed, but that's like, I'd say bare minimum, and also they have a tattoo on their leg saying "I heart BBC," which that's fucking.
I mean, they could be talking about the British broadcast corporation.
Yeah, and they can say that's what they mean as I strain them from the ceiling fan. But that doesn't change what it really means. No, it's disgusting overall. It's very like genuinely goosebump, like kind of gross out, chilling. To look into it more and more, just see how blatant it was, and just nobody ever noticed.
Yeah, that's it's quite bad. So I can't wait for the next content creator showcase of next week. Spoilers: it's James, no last name, no underscore last underscore name underscore on Twitch.
Poll? Can we make like a poll on like the YouTube community thing and see who it's gonna be?
Just list off a bunch of names. Right?
Yeah, like we'll just come up with like who, and then we'll see from there.
Well, actually, the thing I also wanted to talk about with this situation was an old friend of ours whose name popped up during this whole fiasco, and it's Sneeko. Sneeko is
Oh my god, I
Sneeko's
know.
all over this case.
Yeah, and okay. I'm so glad we're talking about this. I do
So
want to talk about this.
I know he was I know he's still one of your best friends, and
I
so
will
I know
tear
it's a
his
little
fucking
bit.
head off if I ever meet him with my
He's
bare
a little.
goddamn
It's
hands.
a little bit sensitive for me to make fun of him and stuff in front of you, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I guess
Yuck.
when the news dropped about Ava Chris Tyson, Sneeko was like, he was on the ball, dude. He was right underneath it with his mouth open, ready for it, and he calls out everyone who talked about the previous
Doctor Disrespect.
pedo stuff.
Yeah.
My
By the way,
involvement with minors.
Just real quick, I love how much of a bitch he is. He's such a fucking annoying piece of shit. If you say anything like negatively about him, he puts you on a fucking like, I know this motherfucker has like a little like either in his phone in his like notes or like a physical thing he writes on, because he keeps tabs on you, and the moment he hears that you, a person who talked badly about him, anything happens with you, he's like a fucking fly on shit, and I mean that literally. He fucking face dives into it, and he's like, oh, like monkey screaming about it, and it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up.
The way you described that was, I picture like a cartoon Sneeko, and then whatever, when you said he hears something bad, he hears something bad about him from your mouth. It's like he puts his hand to his ear, cups his ear with his hand, and his ear like enlarges and undulates as cartoonishly as he's listening.
Again, this would be a great Meat Canyon skit, I feel like.
Yeah, so he calls out everyone, and
yeah. God, I fucking hate it.
But it was like, from what I believe, it was like right after the news dropped.
Yeah,
and generally
like
people don't immediately like just talk about it, because wait for both sides kind of situation. But they eventually did talk about it, I think, and you know how it went.
Yeah,
so it didn't end with just that, because I just found out like 2 hours ago that Sneeko had a little debate. He went on video call. He had a debate with Charlie again. Because it turns out Charlie was one of the people that Sneeko called out, with the whole
right. Which, by the way,
he talked about Dr. Disrespect and Cody Go, but he doesn't want to talk about Ava Chris Tyson because he's involved with Mr. Beast, and he's a Mr. Beast fan.
The information just came out. Charlie was already making a video on his second channel about it, was putting together a video for his main channel.
He talked about it on a stream, and he clipped it from his stream.
Yeah,
his second channel, yeah.
That's literally how he does it. It's what he did for Dr. Disrespect, and then he waited to make a video on Dr. Disrespect after more information came out, just like he did or tried to do for Ava, but now fucking Sneeko's little fucking annoying whiny ass was like
I saw the clip. He's like in a car or something with a bunch of other people, and he's like, guys, you won't believe it. Penguin Z0, Charlie, Moist Critical. He won't make a video about Ava Chris Tyson, even though he did on Dr. Disrespect. He did it on Cody.
He's such a fucking bitch. Oh my god, I hate him. He's such a whiny bitch.
Yeah, and then they debate each other. Like, they actually have a debate, quote unquote debate, and it's literally the most like brain dead debate. The clips I saw were like the most brain dead stuff.
Yeah, XQC went on H3H3 and did the worm and called it a debate.
Yeah, I think they were debating something about like the age of consent. It was the most brain dead thing I've ever heard.
Why does he keep doing that? What the fuck is his problem? Why does he keep doing that? That's so weird.
Because the thing about debates is that it doesn't even really matter who's right, because it just matters who sounds the most right. It doesn't even matter who's actually correct in debates. So I don't like debates that much.
You can only sound like you're in the wrong if you even like try to discuss that as like what it needs to be changed. Like, if you say it needs to be changed and the number isn't going higher, you're in a hole and you can't get out. You don't have a shovel. You have nothing to dig with, and your hands are fucking numb. You what have you done? Yeah,
it was pretty bad. So
that sounds fucking bad. Dude, what is his fucking like? He is so eager to jump on like fucking yelling at like anybody else and calling them a pedophile until it comes to people he likes.
I'm almost sure he's a pedophile.
He is.
I'm like 99%.
The whole, remember his teeth getting knocked out? It's because he was trying to bring underage people into a club.
Yeah. And the whole like cuties thing. Yeah.
He defends cuties. He defends Dr. Disrespect. He talks about lowering the age of consent constantly. This man is a pedophile.
It can't
It's not
be,
he
man.
might be.
It
He
can't
is.
be. It's Sneako's my best friend. Okay, he's the dude I
Kill
looked up to
yourself.
most.
I'm sorry. There's only one answer.
When I was
here.
a kid, Sneeko was there to hold my hand. All right, so
Tell the police.
I'm not a victim. We both consented.
JD, you can't consent. That's not how that works.
Yeah, so Sneeko did that. I'm pretty sure people still don't like him. And
dude,
yeah.
I don't. God, he's such a fucking annoying prick. I don't know why he keeps thinking like, if I keep talking more, people will surely listen. No, we're just all gonna keep staring at you and wondering why you won't shut the fuck up. Stop talking about it.
Yes, I think that wraps up that whole situation. It was a pretty like wild roller coaster. Went from like Ava Chris Tyson, and then like it like went uphill and then it went downhill real fast after everything about Ava Chris Tyson came out, and then Sneeko comes in, that roller coaster went back up, and anyway, so
he just dug himself into another hole and was like,
so I do have one more topic on my list here, and it's just one more actually.
Just one more.
And it's something I heard recently because I guess it's coming out soon, maybe, or at least some new things have came out about it. I'm not sure what is completely true about it. I didn't fact check most of it. I just thought it was pretty interesting. So I saw that Ubisoft made an apology to the Japanese players. I'm not sure. I didn't read it word for word. I just heard.
Assassin's Creed?
It's about Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh my god.
So what happened was I saw that Ubisoft made an X as like an apology to its Japanese audience, I think is what it was. And it was about Yasuke, the main character. I think it was partly because of Yasuke and partly because a lot of the historical things they made in the game were not correct or something. I think that's what it was. I don't know if Japanese people actually are angry about that.
No, they're fucking not. They've literally been mostly supportive, and then like it's been Americans and like British people.
I'm pretty sure it's not. Yeah, it's not. I don't think the average Japanese gamer really does care about it. I mean, I seriously don't care about it. But then I heard some interesting things about it that
Japanese.
You're right, and I don't like Japanese. I mean, we both. Fuck the Japanese. Am I right, James?
JD.
They came out with anime and they ruined the world with it. So
no, anyway. I like them, unlike you.
Yeah, of course you would like them.
Yeah.
So anyway,
bitch.
I heard about some interesting things about Yasuke, which by the way, I just don't really care about, but I thought it was really funny. So apparently, Yasuke is like there was one historian in particular that popularized Yasuke as like the black samurai of what was the era? The feudal Japan era? I don't know what it was called really. And
I don't.
The historian that popularized it was Thomas Lockley. And Thomas Lockley is he's like the whitest guy I've ever seen. But he's a faculty member at Nihon University College of Law in Tokyo, I think. And he wrote a book about Yasuke. And it was supposed to be a nonfiction, like historical retelling about Yasuke. And and I heard about this. I don't know if it's true, but a bunch of Japanese historians basically don't think Yasuke actually was like how he was portrayed by Thomas Lockley, and apparently everything that we know about Yasuke, like the whole like, oh, he was like a samurai, and then he stood next to Nubi Yogi, was just like made up by Thomas Lockley, because every single source that you would get talking about Yasuke linked back to Thomas Lockley.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that happened. So I'm not sure. At this point, I'm not even sure if he existed.
Why'd you say it like that? That just happened.
Well, it did happen. Also, he claimed that black slaves were really popular in feudal Japan, which I actually have no idea. But apparently, Japanese historians disagree with that. They said that black slaves were not popular in feudal Japan. I don't really care about historical accuracy, especially not in Assassin's Creed games.
Game.
Yeah, but I guess this was the first time
the arbiter of historical accuracy.
I guess, is this the first time they made like the main character an actual historical figure, like a real one, or was it? I know the other ones were not real.
I think they've done it before. Just people.
I know Ezio isn't real. Connor's not real.
Maybe I think this might be, but I feel like they've done it before. Like I feel like the Viking one that was supposed to be based off.
The Viking one's definitely not a real main character.
No, I know they're not real people. I feel like that one, it was based off like real stories or something. Like
I just think it's really funny. Like, I think it's really funny that that Yasuke, it's like through Assassin's Creed Shadows, a bunch of Japanese historians are discovering that Yasuke was just like this made up fictional character by Thomas Lockley. I thought that was really funny. Made up, it's not completely made up, but I think a lot of his life was probably made up by Thomas Lockley. I think Yasuke was actually a real person, but he's probably wasn't like a samurai or anything like that.
So here's my thing.
Yeah.
And I want to like get my full thoughts out there real quick. My first genuine ones, and then I'll do like a little joke. Yeah. We've seen throughout Assassin's Creed they use real historical figures, maybe not as a playable character, but as characters within the games.
George Washington.
Da Vinci didn't fucking help the assassins make their blades and shit.
Yeah.
The Pope of the fucking time wasn't a secret Templar fighting the assassins and shit. There are no aliens. There's no actual Apple of Eden. This is all fictional with real life influence. So to that end, who gives a shit? Like if they want to say the story of the game that Yasuke, again, another figure of history being used in this fictional context, if they want to say he's a samurai, if they want to say he's an assassin, fucking let him. Because we've had so many games by this point where nobody said anything.
Yeah, at this point, like, it's just normal.
Who fucking cares? It's just such blatant racism because it's a black character, and it's like, so why is it? What the fuck do you care now? Why didn't you care before? Why didn't you have your pitchforks any time before it? Oh, I'm sorry. Ezio isn't actually a white dude. He's not. Fun fact, they weren't white, but they made him look white because the fucking gamer audience at the time. I'm so sorry you're only now getting a black character.
The only real point I saw from anyone was that this Assassin's Creed game is taking place in Japan with not Japanese, like fully Japanese lead characters. There's two lead characters, but obviously I don't know if the other one's like actually this like a main character or if it's just another side because Yasuke gets so much attention. I don't know if
that's kind of what they do though. They don't really show off with that Aztec one. I'm pretty sure the canon one is the female character, but every trailer showed off the guy.
Yeah,
because like they have the canon, they do it guy and girl for you to feel like you have a bit more, personal. Like, hey, if you're a woman, you can play as a woman, even though technically this is canon for it to be the guy. Or like with Syndicate, they're like, yeah, it's a guy and a girl, but mainly it's just the girl.
Yeah, I think the problem people had was that this was a game that was supposed to take place in feudal Japan, but the main character is not Japanese, and the other Assassin's Creed games were where like it take place in Egypt. The main character is Egyptian, and then stuff like that. But right, I don't know.
Again, to the end, Ezio shouldn't be a white man, but was.
Wasn't he like Italian or something?
Yeah, but the Italians weren't fucking like white back then. That's like because of colonization and like spreading out that caused them to be that. They were much more. Man, I'm trying to think of how to say it, but yeah, they weren't white. They had a lot more melanin within their skin and everything, of more olive complexion. But in the games, they're just white people because, again, at the time, we really focused on white people being main characters within the story. That's why there's like not really any non-white characters within the first couple Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, I don't think the Japanese really care about you
No,
escaping it.
if
I think
anything,
my parents, if my parents were gamers, they definitely care about it. They'd be like,
yeah,
what
but your
the
parents
fuck?
are
Why
Japanese.
are these white people making a video game about China and they're making and all the main characters are black? It makes no sense.
But also, this isn't the first
I don't
time
think
a black ninja like assassin has been in the game.
he's a samurai, James. He's a samurai.
Hey,
There is
so
a ninja.
I'm
There
gonna
is
say-
a ninja in there, and it's the woman. All right, he's a samurai.
Yeah, but she's okay. Well, I'm talking about in a previous Assassin's Creed game where she's the
okay.
main character. She's a black assassin in, like, I believe Japan. Like, this isn't the
Wait,
first. Yeah, there's been a
Which
black
Assassin's
main
game was
character.
that?
It wasn't a good one from what I remember. It was like a weird kind
It
of
was
like
like a knockoff
side-scrolling
one or
one.
something.
No, it was like when they were doing like an in-between era of games. From what I remember, it was like a side-scrolling one. I didn't. It was like a kind of like Metal Gear Solid, like where it's top-down all the time originally in the games.
That sounds weird. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird one. I personally, again, this is what I remember, so I could be off from how the gameplay was, but from what I played of it, I didn't care for it because I didn't like the weird side-scrolling thing. But yeah, this isn't the first time. It's been done before, but people are only complaining now because it's, you know, more like of a established game. It's
Well,
not
it's
like
'cause it's
one
gonna
of
be
the
a big.
random
It's
side
probably gonna
games
be a
they put
big
out.
game. I know. Assassin's Creed actually has gone uphill. Like the trend is uphill. I know Valhalla, like that Viking one
Mhm.
they made, was actually their best selling one. It sold like the most copies out of all
I'll
of their
be so
Assassin's
honest.
Creed games.
I haven't
So-
wanted to play one in so long.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
I haven't played one
Even
in
this
so
new
long
stuff
either.
didn't really interest me. Like, I think it's cool, but it's just
It's
I'm
become
still
more
not
mainstream now, Assassin's Creed. So
I
that's
wouldn't
probably
say
why
it's
it's
the
so.
mainstreamness of it that caused me to feel like about it. I feel like it's
No, I think it is, and you just don't realize it. But
yeah, you know what? I hate mainstream. You're right.
you're just such a big contrarian
I lo-
that you just
I love
anything
how-
that becomes popular, anything that becomes mainstream, all of a sudden you do the Drake meme. You're like, nah, I don't want that anymore.
I love how anytime like you just say like, no, I think you did this. I'll just be like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
That's the bit.
It.
That's the bit. Is where
Hey,
it's
bud,
me.
nail on the head. You figured it out.
It's me poking you with a stick, and you just letting it happen. You're just like, yeah, of course.
me just turning over and being like, you know what? You're completely right here. But yeah, I think it's definitely just blatant racism. I think especially when you look at one of the guys that was trying to disprove it was like, I'm actually a Japanese historian, and it turned out he wasn't. He was some American that was trying to pretend to be Japanese by using like Google Translate. He was like made a whole fake account. He was trying to make all these fake claims, and like real Japanese people were like, who the fuck are you?
Who is
What
this
the
guy?
What is this? Who you have gotten everything you said wrong.
Well, anyway, James, I think the whole point of this is that fuck the Japanese, right? I want no Japanese representation. In fact, I don't even think there should be a second main
Are
character.
you using your mocking
Fuck the second
face?
Japanese. Fuck the Japanese people. Am I right, James? Let's go.
Are you using your mogging character right now?
No, I
Oh.
wish I would. It takes a
I
lot.
was gonna say
It takes effort to change the characters, and I'm too lazy
it'd
to
be
do
really
that.
funny if you had like a some kind of like input on your keyboard that you could click. So when you say it, you just switch in between your regular and your mogging one when you say it.
I think I could just put in the mogging character as just another source and just toggle the visibility on and off for the.
You could have
things
it be
probably
that
work.
when you're normal, when you're not talking, it's just regular. But then when you start talking, it starts mogging.
No, when I'm silent, I have to mog because well, obviously I can't mog when I'm talking. So I'll say something incredibly based, and then I'll just switch the mogging character as I go silent.
I'll have to add the shushing to it.
I'll
when you're
add
not
it in so
talking.
that when I switch the visibility, it'll also play like a bass boosted Vine Boom too.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm. But yeah, that's.
Well, I know
that's
you're gonna play
something.
this new Assassin's Creed game, right? You have to play it now. It's just
Because I've
because
'Cause
you're a
why?
big Japanese fan, and you're a big minority fan. Thank you. And so this is like all
big
for
fan
you.
of the Minority Report.
Big fan of. Oh yeah, I saw there was like a small gameplay trailer that came out about it, and they had
Oh yeah,
and people were angry that they had like Japanese hip hop music kind of things, like the like a traditional Japanese music, but they remix it to sound like hip hop. Honestly, I thought it kind of bopped, but people didn't like it apparently.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't
What did
fit
the people
feudal
that didn't
Japan.
like it?
But
What did they look like?
I don't know. I just heard that they don't like it.
They look like me.
They might look like you, yeah.
Yeah,
If I
that's
had to
what
guess,
thought.
they
Fucking
probably look like you.
Sneeko.
I mean, they probably don't look like Sneeko. Well, I mean, they might look like Sneeko. I don't know.
Incels. Cucked incels that
Tall,
can't cope with that fact.
handsome, it's just all the
Bald
Sneeko
and
qualities that you think of when you think of Sneeko.
Did you just say bald and handsome?
No, I said tall.
No, you said
Isn't he
bald.
like tall? He's like 6 foot something, right? 6'2".
Is he? I'm gonna look up Sneeko.
I thought he was. I thought he was tall.
I could still take him.
Like we're just both looking at him. Yeah, he's 6'2". I remember that being a point about Sneeko because that was like a point that Charlie brought up when he was like, "Oh, just fight me, bro, just fight me." And then Charlie's like, "No, I'm not gonna fight him. The dude's like 6'2". I'm gonna get my ass beat." Maybe.
I could take him.
I think you could take him.
I could fucking pick him up with my hands and do a Bane and just crack him over my knee.
I think the if any of the viewers don't think you can take him, it might be my fault for like painting you as like the most sensitive, sensitive housed person to have ever existed.
Guys, I cannot stress this enough. I have to restrain myself.
I can't stress
every
this
fucking
enough.
day of my life.
James is an incredibly violent person, and if conflict allows for it, violence is his first answer. His hands literally bleed from punching stone all day. So, yeah.
I have that boxer knuckle where like my knuckles fuse from me breaking them and them just forming into like one large
you have
knuckle.
those,
So now it's
you
just
have those-
completely stronger.
You have those calluses over your knuckles that make it look like you're wearing a glove, but it's not a glove, it's just your skin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got that boxer ear, which is a big mushroom. You gotta drain the blood out of it every now and then.
Like a cauliflower ear or something, where
Yeah.
it's just ear that's swollen with fluid because of the trauma that it experiences on a daily basis.
Genuinely, I'd give up like fighting ever
It's quite
if
disgusting.
I like, started forming one of those.
Apparently,
I don't know
it's
why
it's a
people would.
form of it's like you want cauliflower ear when you're a fighter because it shows like you trained hard or something like that. So it's like a point of pride.
Punched a lot, sure.
It's a pride thing. It's like I train so hard, that I've got cauliflower ear. Here, help me drain this, and he gives you like a syringe. I think that's how you drain. You just like stick the syringe.
Then he
right
gestures
in there
at his lower back, and he's like, "Yeah, just put it in there."
Yeah, and then some fighters, they have like such bad cauliflowers and they don't drain them that you like in the middle of a fight they'll like get punched there and then they'll like explode.
Just pops.
Yeah, it explodes like all over your face. I remember seeing a clip where like the ref. Are you like shivering now, James? You get a little bit of the goosebumps. Yeah, what happens is there was like a clip of a fighter who had like terrible cauliflower ear. He didn't drain it, and he gets punched there, and the referee had to stop him because he's just bleeding everywhere because the cauliflower ear popped. Anyway, it's pretty delicious
crazy,
things.
man. Love me some deep fried cauliflower ear.
The forbidden deep fried cauliflower.
The forbidden deep fried cauliflower ear. That's crazy. So I got some news.
Yeah, hit me, James. I've been talking a bit too long here too. What do you got?
San Diego Comic-Con 2024 happened this weekend. Like last weekend, I should be more clear.
Okay, so a week ago?
Yeah. No, like a couple days. Oh wait, no, yeah.
Today is Saturday, but this episode's coming out on Sunday, so which is it? James.
I can't remember. My brain's stopping.
I can Google it for you.
No, I think it started Thursday actually. Maybe. I can't remember exactly, but I know a lot of new stuff has been coming out over like the past couple days.
It did start on Thursday. It says July 25th to 28th. It was Thursday. Yeah, so it was a couple days ago. What happened?
Yeah. So he what the fuck? They've announced a lot of new stuff to come out, and with today being Saturday when we're filming this, that means there's 2 more days at least of stuff. I think that should mean. And so far, what we've gotten is a new boys spin-off show called Vought Origins, I think, or something, or Vought
Of
Rising.
new the boys in the boys universe.
It's
And then
called Vought
butchers, and then
Rising.
there's gonna be a butcher like character in there, and he goes, "Oi,
Oi, Amanda.
oi,
Huey he's run. Mine.
oi!
Oi, Amanda.
You think you can make a plan without me, blood?"
You gotta remove
That's exactly
like,
what
the
he
first
sounds
letter
like.
of every word. Oi, Amanda.
Oi, oh no,
You run me mum bum. Wump wump.
no, that's just not true. He
But yeah,
lied to you.
it's called Bot Rising, and the main star of the show is going to be Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, because this show takes place during the 1940s and 1960s.
Where they're
of
taking back America from the Russians.
Nope, the
Okay.
Nazis. JD, you fucking idiot.
The Nazis.
fucking idiot,
Did you
JD,
just say
you fucking
1960s? 1960s?
It's like
Nah, whatever.
1940s to the 1960s, like World War II, and then a bit after.
Okay.
It's going to be following Soldier Boy and who we knew as Stormfront, aka Lady Liberty, aka the original first person, I believe, to receive the Vought superhuman serum
Yeah.
from the Nazis originally, and then it went to Soldier Boy in the U.S. when the Nazis defected.
I think a lot of people really like Soldier Boy. Is that a big reason why they're making him the main
Well, I mean,
character?
it's also he was like, you know, the character of that time and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna find unfortunate is I know we're not gonna get a good super like suit design because
Well, you don't
they've
like
already
their super
shown
suit
what
designs?
his design they've shown what his design looked like, and it's
just a
an
prototype. It's
airsoft
not ready
vest.
yet.
What was that?
It's just a prototype. It's not ready yet. It's not the whole thing.
But yeah, I know. It's just I know it's going to be they're like starting out. It's just I feel like we're not going to get good superhero design when it comes to him. Maybe we'll get it for other superheroes of the time, as well as whatever Stormfront / Lady Liberty's character will be at the time. Because I don't think she's Lady Liberty till later on.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the co-star of the show, so
And she's got like 70 different identities, man.
Yeah, because she's immortal and will never age.
She's the immortal. She's the immortal of the boys universe.
That's unironically true. Yeah. But immortals can be killed. That's always a confusing thing that people don't understand. Is that immortal does not mean invulnerable. Like Vegeta, that fucking idiot. I'm gonna be immortal.
He's just plot armor. Like this is not.
Well, no, he's just stupid. Like, why would you ask to be immortal? Be invulnerable, then ask for immortality later on.
I mean, I don't know if that works. It's like a double wish you can do. You do 2 wishes.
Yeah, if you go to Planet Napa or wherever
Planet
Piccolo's
Napa.
from.
Planet Napa. You love the Japanese. Come on now, you got it.
I know the bridge to Dragon Ball. That's it. I know you get like 3 wishes from that dragon when you collect the Dragon Balls, because there's different dragons for the different planets and stuff. But yeah, we're getting so sidetracked. Vought Rising. It's gonna be showing the origins of Vought, and Jensen Ackles didn't know he was gonna be in this show until they announced it at Comic-Con. He didn't know, but they had him do the line read, and he was reading, and he's like, Vought Rising. It'll be taking place during the 1940s and 1960s, showing as our main star Jensen. I'm in this. What the? Just sort of
That's what he
was like.
He
reading
turns around to his
time.
assistant. He's like, what the?
Yeah, no, he reads it. He starts looking around the rest of the cast that was there for the boys. He's like, I did. Okay, cool. I'm in this.
Cool work. Nice.
No, I'm super excited for him to be back and to be playing a young Soldier Boy. So maybe he'll be idealistic at first and then become a piece of shit.
God, I hope
as the show goes on.
I hope he's de-aged digitally, but not like what was it? Not like what was that AI method of doing it? Masking or something?
The face swap?
No, it was like a deep fake. It's not a deep fake. It's just
deep fake.
It's just a digital de-aging, like the bad one.
Yeah, like they did for that one shot in Fallout when they de-aged Hank.
Like they did that like a mustache removal for
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah, that was really bad. They also didn't need to do that. That's my favorite fact is they didn't need to do that. They already had enough footage originally filmed without the mustache.
Yeah, but it's decided, like, let's just use this one and take out the mustache.
Right, like
Don't
it
deep fake
was
it though.
so, it's because Joss Whedon wanted to add lines and shit like the "You won't let me live, you won't let me die."
You won't let me live. Upper lip doesn't move. You won't let me live.
you gotta take your fingers and press down
I mean,
on
James,
your upper lip.
I know you
as
you
talk.
absolutely hate cold one-liners like that, but sometimes you just got to add them in there.
Coldest line in fiction.
The coldest
You won't let me
line in the
live,
movie.
You won't let me
You
die.
won't let me live. You won't let me die.
This guy bothering you?
Second coldest line. Do you bleed?
Third coldest line. Mother, she's calling me.
So when's the when's Vault Origins coming out?
I don't think Thought Rising. Jade, get it right.
Sorry, I'm not the big fan of the
better
boys.
apologize.
I mean, everyone always talks about the boys, but when are the girls going to come out, huh? I kind of want to watch that.
That was season 2 when they were like, girls get it done, and then they all beat up the Nazi.
Girls get it done, and then they're fighting a Nazi. You said?
Mm-hmm. Stormfront.
Of course.
They all gang up on her, just beat the shit out of her.
Because that's what girls get done the most is beating up Nazis.
And then Frenchie goes, "Girls do get it done.
Good duty get done." That's exactly
I'm a member of the
exactly
IPF. Genocide's bad, but I do not personally believe this as the actor.
Us girls get it done.
But yeah, they announced that. I believe they announced that. Yeah, they just kind of talked about season 5. Some news: Fantastic Four, the movie, the new one that
we're getting
they're
a
doing,
sequel to it.
What?
We're getting a sequel to the Fantastic Four movie, the one with the
nope,
the
it's
big
a new
rock
one.
and the
Nope.
God.
New one, new cast. They have Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic.
No, bring back the old ones.
I know he's not a white man. You can't empathize with him anymore.
No, not that, man. I wanted Doctor Doom back, dude. That the one, the
he'll
green
be
one.
back.
I wanted the green one back.
They're all green.
Well, that's a little bit better then.
Be more specific. I beg you.
No, the one from the most recent Fantastic Four movie. You know the one with the, the one where like they get the powers and they go on the run and the time skips like 10 years or something, and
you could be talking about any of the movies. that applies to all of them.
I'm talking about the one with Michael Jordan as the Johnny. I want that one back. Okay.
Michael Jordan be balling?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan.
So
as Johnny.
Are you ready to hear the cast?
Okay.
So Pedro Pascal, as we've already said, he'll be playing Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards.
Cool.
So I don't know if you'll know who this is, but his name is Joseph Quinn. He's pretty popular. He was in Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, my favorite show.
Mm-hmm. He's in Overlord. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. He was in that new Quiet Place movie.
It's my new favorite show.
The movie?
James, can you get on with it? We don't have all day.
He'll be playing Johnny Storm, which I like that casting of. Ebon Moss, but Batroch, I don't know how to say the last name.
Jesus, dude, we always gotta butcher all these names.
Ebon Moss, as I normally refer to him. He's gotten the most popular, I'd say, now for him being in the show The Bear. He plays the older cousin of the main guy, Carmi. And he's a good casting,
The Bear, where the chef dude is played a
hands.
He's played by the actor that has that weak chin, but everyone likes him.
Weak chin, strong fucking biceps though. Holy shit, dude.
God, he needs to mog more. Like, my God, bro has skipped every single mog day.
he can stare right through my fucking soul, man. Ugh.
I think he pulls off the chinless like really well, actually. No,
yeah, I'd say he's one of those unconventionally attractive people that do it very well. But I also think people are like unnecessarily mean to him about his appearance.
They don't like him.
I
say unless they're mean, and here I am making fun of his chin.
I don't know. I think he's aware. I don't think he's like unaware of his own chin. But Yeah, Vanessa Kirby. So we saw her, JD, when we saw Mission Impossible.
Kirby. Don't do. Oh, we saw her?
Yeah, so you remember Mission Impossible when we saw it?
Yeah.
She's the blonde gun runner lady that was going to sell the AI thing. You remember her?
Um, I don't remember much about that movie.
The British lady impersonates her at the end of the movie and everything.
Um, all I really remember from that movie was that scene of the senator, like the
Gas
business
bombs going
people
off.
the gas bombs blowing up in their face and their heads like snapping backwards from the force.
Dude,
That's the only thing I remember from that movie.
Ethan Hunt's like, don't worry, they're non-lethal bombs. They'll wake up as their heads fucking get
Don't worry,
rocked
they're non-lethal
back from the
bombs. They're non-lethal
shockwave.
bombs. They'll wake up and you like it smash cuts to them and their head is like 180 turned around.
It's like the boys, like
their
when the
neck
deep
their
punches a
neck
hole
bones
through
are
the guy's
sticking
head.
out.
It's like when the deep punches a hole through the guy's head. It's just like the bottom half is all that's left. That's what happens when that bomb goes off right in front of your fucking face like that.
Yeah, he's just
It
like
just
say that I'm the smartest of the seven or something.
because also those were metal spheres, so that has shrapnel. Those explode with gas and that kind of capacity. Shrapnel does fly out of that, just not as violently. And it being that close, she got fucking tore up by that. That one lady that like her head gets fucking.
Their face is like inches away from the gas bomb when it goes off. It's like right in front of their face.
It's so fucking funny. Why did they
It's in
do
the trailer,
that?
I think. It was really funny.
It's in the trailer. It's in the movie. It's so fucking funny.
I don't know if they meant it to be funny, but it was.
No, I think they meant for it to be like, oh, what a cool reveal of it being Ethan
Yeah, they meant
Hunt
to be like,
doing
oh
this.
my god, wow, look at this cool gadget that they're using. But instead, it's
Right.
just a.
But instead, our only takeaway is Jesus Christ.
Our only takeaway is, man, it'd be really funny if there was a sped up GIF of this with funny music in the background.
Oh man.
Yeah, so she's playing
She's playing
Invisible Woman.
Woman. Yeah, and those are the main people that we've had confirmed casting for. So the main four Fantastic Four have been all casted officially. Day one of filming was just the other day.
Uh-huh.
And what's interesting is in the picture for day one, we got to see what everybody looked like. So Ebon Mosh, what? Moss.
You got it, yeah. That's right.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Yep, you're right.
Ebon Moss. He normally has like a kind of stubbly beard when he's done like any shows lately. He's had that stubbly beard. He shaved it completely. He looks pretty clean cut, which I like because he's playing the Thing, and I like that. So I kind of like that look for him. Joseph Quinn has done a buzz. It looks like so. Him and Ebon have very similar kind of buzzed haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that very interesting because it's kind of very Chris Evans, Human Torch.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro Pascal looks like how he does every fucking thing he makes. The exact same.
Is Pedro Pascal turning into one of those actors where he just plays Pedro Pascal?
Yeah,
every role.
They cast him and then they just write the role to be him rather than get.
Because
I'd say Joel. I'd say his performance as Joel is definitely not him being
I
Pedro
don't know.
Pascal, which I like.
From the only roles I've seen him in were all pretty different, like The Mandalorian, and then I saw him in Wonder Woman, and then I saw him as Joel, and that seemed pretty different
but
to
it can
me.
be better. Yeah, you know what? I'd say, yeah, he definitely does very different roles, but I think he is definitely getting typecasted because I've seen some of the comedic, like little cameo bits he's done as well for other projects, and is
his real personality closer to the Wonder Woman one then? Like his
no,
I don't know what he acts like in real life.
It's closer to him in that Nick Cage movie.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
We've seen it.
we have not seen it.
I'm almost 100% sure we've seen it together.
We have not seen that movie. What was it called? Like, it had a really long name. The
massive weight of awesome talent.
Yeah, the unbearable weight of crushing talent. I don't know. We have not seen that movie. You watched it with someone else, but it was not me.
I watched it with my brother, but I'm like almost 100% sure I've also seen it with you, JD.
Nope, because I 100% remember never watching that movie.
Well, you're just lying.
We talked about it, but we did not watch it.
You're just lying to yourself then.
I mean, when's the last time we watched a movie, James?
Meg 2?
Exactly. And you know where that movie came out?
When Meg 2 came out?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I only remember the empty theater and the employee walking in and staring
I just
at us
remember
for
that
like
the
a
Meg,
minute.
that watching the Meg 2 was probably one of the best movie experiences I've ever had in the theater.
Oh my god, I love that. I want us to just never have a booked theater again when we do stuff, so we could just get up out of our
It's
seats
just
and be like, what the
because
fuck?
because it allows you to do some of the stupidest things that you could never do in a movie theater.
Because we talked about it.
Which is stand up fully in the theater and go, what the Sigma really loud?
We talked about how when we see movies, I start to kind of like rile around in my seat when stupid
You
shit
rile
happens.
around and I stand up, I start shouting, let's go.
Start going, let's go, Brandon.
Let's go. You see that right there? That's my boy, Corey. Corey Santhrenel. Anyway.
The unbearable.
We did not watch that movie. You watched that movie.
Mm-hmm. I did, and we did.
I don't know. I don't know how Pedro Pascal acts in that movie.
He acts like himself.
I like to feel like he's a pretty normal dude.
Yeah,
I think he's pretty good at acting and acts. He can act a bunch of different roles pretty well. So I'm excited to see him as a. Oh, I'm excited to not see him as Doctor Invincible. Because
not even anywhere
I won't
near
watch the movie on
close.
my own.
You didn't even try to get that right.
I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four a fan, despite having watched the original like 2 movies a bunch when I was a kid.
And then the reboot where they're green.
The only moment I only remember certain moments from those movies where I remember one where he's like he's at a nightclub or something, Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the second one for his bachelor party.
Yeah, and he's talking with a bunch of I think they're strippers. They might have been strippers.
They were just people dancing.
And then one of them was like, does every part of you stretch? And as a kid, I was in my head, I was thinking, well, of course it does. Why wouldn't it? But I didn't know what part they were referring to. It was my kid dumb brain moment where I was like, yeah, you can stretch his arms and his legs. They both can stretch.
But the way he said that is literally how Bart Simpson says it when they're like, did your mama buy those pajamas for you? And he's like, of course she did. Who else would have? Does every part of you stretch? He's elastic. Of course he does.
Well, yeah, he can stretch his left arm and his right arm. Why would it not stretch his right arm too?
And only those, really. Never anything else.
I don't know about his legs, but I think they can. Anyway, and then right after that,
when he does a little twist in the air,
and then right after that, he's like walking, and then Invisible Woman makes like 2 walls and like squishes him.
And he's like,
it turns him into a pancake, and then he just like flips him around. He's just pancaked in between these 2 invisible walls. He's like, so then, yeah, and he's like, oi,
Susan,
oi, Susan,
oi, omelette.
And then the thing walks into the room, and he's like, oi.
He's like, I'm Michael Chiklis playing Michael Chiklis.
Anyway, yeah, that's the whole. Who's playing? Did they say who's playing Doctor Doom?
I don't think they have, but there is supposedly a Mole Man casting, which I think is hilarious.
I got the perfect person to play Doctor Doom.
Yeah, who?
The chef from The Bear.
Was in. So Paul Walter Hauser, who has been in quite a lot. He's been in Richard Jewell. He's been in Cobra Kai, Blackbird, the Inside Out 2 movie recently. He's done quite a bit of stuff. You know, he's up there. I think Richard Jewell might be one of his best performances as well. He is supposedly going to be playing Mole Man. Because he's the... Oh, wait, we do have a supposed casting for Galactus, though.
Galactus is going to be in this Fantastic Four movie?
Supposedly. So we supposedly have
Galactus. Is that the only times we've seen Galactus in Marvel movies is Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Is it because they're owned? Is Fantastic Four owned by Marvel, or is it a different company?
Originally he was under the Fox licensing, and he was most associated with Fantastic Four, so they only kept him in Fantastic Four properties.
I see.
Which is why also in that movie where they turn green and go on the run with the time skip, he was going to be in it, but then they cut him from the movie, which is why Doctor Doom looks that way in the movie, by the way, because he was going to be the Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, when that movie comes out, then I guess we can watch it, or we could watch one of the movies that are out right now.
I'm watching Deadpool and Wolverine later.
Deadpool and Wolverine. My father wants to watch that, I think.
Yeah, come with us. We can see it at the theater at the same time, and I can turn to you and I can go, "Oi, Nanda, and bam bam, and roll around on my seat."
And my father watches both of us with a really disappointed look.
Your father turns to you and goes, "I don't approve of
I
your
stand
white
up in the
friend."
theater. I say, can this Ohio Skibidi yacht stop being such a sigma?
And I turn to my dad and I
angrily
say,
storm out of the theater.
I turn to my dad and I say, "I'm quitting my job." And he goes, "What?"
And I turn to my dad and I say, James is gay, but loud enough so that both dads can
my
hear
dad
it.
says, "What?"
Your dad says, "What the sigma?" And it goes back to watching.
And nothing else happens ever.
Well, James, thanks for joining me for this week. There's been a lot
A
of
bunch
things
of
that happened.
Transformers got announced. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's all the time we have for this time. Maybe next week you can fill me in on what the rest of Comic-Con. If you like James, his stuff is in the description below. And that's it from me. James, bring us out. Don't make it about Transformers.
So, San Diego Comic-Con, they announced some Transformers.